Once upon a time, in a small village, surrounded by tall mountains and deep forests, there lived a young girl named Layla. Layla was an ordinary girl in many ways, but she had something special inside her heart, a love for adventure. While other children played in the village, Layla would always wander off, dreaming of the lands beyond the mountains and the secrets hidden in the woods. Her parents were kind and loving, but they often worried about her wandering too far. Every morning, Layla would stand on a small hill outside the village, looking at the mountains. She would imagine herself climbing to the top, looking over the world and discovering places no one had ever seen before. One day, she would say to herself, "I will go on a real adventure." One bright summer day, something happened that changed Layla's life forever. While she was walking near the edge of the forest, she found a small map hidden under a rock. The map was old, with faded lines and strange symbols. At the top of the map, there were words written in a language Layla didn't understand. But one thing was clear: the map was showing a path to something special. Excited, Layla rushed back home to show the map to her parents. But when she told them about her discovery, they were not as excited as she was. "Layla, this is just an old map. It could be dangerous to follow it," her mother said, her voice full of worry. "But I feel like it's leading me to something amazing," Layla argued, her heart pounding with excitement. The forest was deep and dark, but Layla wasn't afraid. The map showed a path that twisted and turned through the trees, leading her deeper into the unknown. Birds chirped overhead, and every now and then Layla would see a rabbit or a squirrel watching her from the bushes. The sounds of nature were her only companions, but she didn't feel lonely. She felt alive. After walking for hours, Layla found herself in front of a wide river. The water was clear, and the sound of it rushing over the rocks was calming. But there was no bridge, and the river was too deep to walk across. Layla sat down on a rock, thinking about what to do. Suddenly, she remembered something her grandmother had told her long ago. When faced with a problem, don't always look for the obvious answer. Sometimes the solution is right in front of you, waiting to be seen. Layla looked around and spotted a group of large stones scattered across the river. They were far apart, but if she jumped carefully, she could cross the river without getting wet. Taking a deep breath, she hopped from one stone to the next, her heart racing with each jump. At the last stone, she nearly slipped, but she quickly regained her balance and made it to the other side. Proud of herself, Layla continued her journey. As the sun began to set, she reached a small clearing in the forest. In the middle of the clearing was a strange stone statue covered in moss. The statue looked old, as if it had been there for hundreds of years. Layla approached it carefully, feeling a strange energy in the air. There was something about the statue that seemed connected to the map. She took out the map and studied it closely. The symbols on the map matched the markings on the statue, Layla realized that she was getting closer to whatever the map was leading her to. Excitement bubbled up inside her, but she also felt a sense of caution. This adventure was more than she had expected. Layla decided to camp near the statue for the night. As she lay under the stars, she wondered what challenges lay ahead. But no matter what, she knew she couldn't turn back now. The adventure was just beginning. The next morning, Layla woke up early, feeling refreshed and ready for whatever the day might bring. She studied the map again, and the path seemed to lead beyond the clearing, toward the mountains. With the sun rising behind her, she followed the path, her steps light with excitement. As she walked, the forest began to thin, and soon she was at the foot of the mountains. The air was cooler here, and the trees were fewer, but the path was still clear. Layla climbed higher and higher, her legs growing tired, but her spirit remaining strong. After several hours of climbing, Layla reached a cave hidden between two large rocks. The entrance was dark and a bit scary, but she knew this was where the map was leading her. Taking a deep breath, she stepped inside. The cave was cold and damp, but Layla wasn't afraid. She followed the tunnel deeper into the mountain until she reached a large underground chamber. In the middle of the chamber was a small chest covered in dust. Layla's heart raced as she approached the chest, wondering what was inside. With trembling hands, she opened the chest. Inside was something she had never expected, a beautiful golden compass. The compass was old, but it still shone brightly, as if it had just been made. Layla picked it up and noticed that it wasn't pointing north like a normal compass. Instead, the needle was pointing toward something else, something beyond the mountains. Layla smiled. The compass was a new beginning, a guide to her next adventure. She realized that the map had led her not to an end, but to a new journey. She tucked the compass into her pocket, feeling a sense of accomplishment. As she left the cave, the sun was setting, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange. Layla stood at the edge of the mountain, looking out over the world. She didn't know where the compass would lead her next, but she was ready. Layla had always loved adventure, and now she knew that the world was full of them, just waiting to be discovered.